The rain pounded the cracked asphalt of downtown Chicago like a relentless accusation, each drop echoing the words his father had hurled at him just weeks ago. "No son of mine is going to be a fag." Owen huddled under the awning of an abandoned garage, his backpack soaked through, clutching the wrench he'd scavenged from a dumpster. At 18, he was supposed to be starting college, not fixing strangers' bikes for scraps. But survival didn't care about plans. That's when the Harley roared up, sputtering like a dying beast. The rider, a broad-shouldered man in leather with tattoos snaking up his arms, killed the engine and cursed under his breath. Jake, that's what the patch on his vest said. Hell's Angels Chicago chapter. He kicked the stand down, rain dripping from his beard, and stared at the bike as if it had betrayed him personally. Owen watched from the shadows, his heart racing not from fear but from a flicker of opportunity. He knew engines. His dad had taught him in the garage back home, before everything fell apart. Before the confession that shattered his world. "Piece of shit," Jake muttered, popping the side panel. Owen stepped forward, the words tumbling out before he could stop them. "It's the carburetor. Flooded from the rain. I can fix it." Jake's head snapped up, eyes narrowing like knives. "Who the hell are you, kid?" Owen swallowed, forcing confidence he didn't feel. "Just someone who knows his way around a Harley. Won't take long." Inside, doubt clawed at him. What if this guy was like his dad? What if one wrong move exposed him, turned this into another nightmare? But hunger gnawed deeper than fear. Jake hesitated, then tossed him a rag. "Fine. But if you screw it up, you're done." As Owen knelt in the puddle, hands diving into the guts of the machine, his mind raced. Why was he helping this stranger? Part of it was the bike. A beautiful beast, all chrome and power, reminding him of simpler times. But mostly, it was the look in Jake's eyes. Not pity, not suspicion, just raw frustration. Owen's fingers moved with practiced ease, adjusting the float, cleaning the jets. "You ride with the Angels?" he asked, keeping his voice steady. Jake grunted. "Yeah, been with 10 years. Family." The word hit Owen like a punch. Family, the one thing he'd lost. "Must be nice," he said softly, more to himself. Jake eyed him. "You got family, kid?" Owen's throat tightened. Lie or truth? Not anymore. He focused on the bike, pushing down the ache. What would Jake say if he knew? That Owen had been kicked out for loving the wrong way? For a crush on his best friend that his parents discovered in a diary? The engine coughed to life on the first try, purring smoothly. Jake's face split into a grin, the first real emotion Owen had seen. "Damn, kid. You're good." He slapped a 20 into Owen's palm. "Name's Jake. What's yours?" "Owen." They shook hands, Jake's grip firm, lingering a second too long. Or was that Owen's imagination? "You need a place to crash? Looks like you're roughing it." Owen froze. Trust a biker? But the rain was merciless, and exhaustion weighed him down. "Just for tonight," he muttered. Jake nodded. "Hop on. Clubhouse ain't far." The ride blurred the city lights into streaks, wind whipping Owen's face. At the clubhouse, a rundown warehouse pulsing with rock music and laughter, Jake introduced him casually. "Kid fixed my ride. Let him dry off." The men, rough, inked, intimidating, nodded without question. Owen sat in a corner, nursing a soda, watching them. Brotherhood. No judgments, just loyalty. But inside, turmoil brewed. Was this safety or a trap? He'd hidden his truth for so long, buried it under layers of pretense. What if they found out? The thought twisted his gut. That night, crashing on a worn couch, Owen stared at the ceiling. Jake had given him a blanket, their eyes meeting again. Kindness? Or something more? No, he couldn't afford to hope. Hope had betrayed him before. Morning came with a roar, engines revving outside like thunder. Owen bolted upright, heart pounding. Had he overstayed? But when he stepped out, over 100 bikers lined the street, Harleys gleaming. Jake stood front and center, grinning. "Boys, this is Owen. Fixed my baby last night. He's one of us now." Cheers erupted. "Brother!" they shouted, slapping his back. Owen's world tilted. Acceptance? From these outlaws? But doubt whispered, they don't know you. Not really. As handshakes blurred, Owen's mind screamed, what have I done? Stepped into a world that might destroy me if the truth slipped. The day unfolded in a haze. Jake pulled him aside. You got skills, kid. Stick around, we could use a mechanic. Owen nodded, but inside, conflict raged. This felt like belonging. But at what cost? Hiding again? He thought of his parents' faces, twisted in disgust. You're dead to us. The pain resurfaced, sharp as ever. Was this new family any different? Or would they turn too? As the bikers shared stories around a fire pit that evening, Owen listened, his silence heavy with unspoken fears. Jake sat close, their shoulders brushing. Accidental? Intentional? Owen's pulse quickened. No, push it down. But the seed was planted, and with it, the first cracks in his carefully built walls. Owen's days blurred into a rhythm of grease and gravel at the Hells Angels clubhouse. By week 2, he was the go-to guy for tune-ups, his hands black with oil, but his mind a storm of contradictions. These men, tough, unyielding, treated him like kin, no questions about his past. Yet every laugh, every shared beer, amplified the lie he lived. Brother? They'd call him, and he'd smile, but inside, the word burned. Brother? If they knew he dreamed of men, not women, would it still hold? Jake was the epicenter of his turmoil. The older man, 30-something with scars from bar fights and a voice like gravel, hovered more than necessary. Good work on that Sportster, he'd say, clapping Owen's shoulder, fingers lingering. Owen would nod, averting his eyes, heat rising in his chest. Was it attraction or desperation for connection? He replayed their first meeting endlessly. The rain, the wrench, that handshake. Jake had seen him, really seen him, without the labels that had damned him before. But what if Jake felt it too? No. Impossible. Bikers like him chased skirts, not strays like Owen. One night, after a long ride, the group gathered for poker. Laughter echoed off the walls, smoke curling like secrets. Owen folded early, watching from the sidelines. Jake lost big, cursing good-naturedly. Kid, you're my lucky charm. Sit by me next time. The others ribbed him. Jake's got a soft spot for the pup. Owen's stomach nodded. Soft spot? Did they suspect? He excused himself, slipping outside to the alley. Leaning against the wall, he lit a cigarette. A habit he'd picked up here, and exhaled shakily. Why stay? The streets were harsh, but honest. Here, every day was a performance. What am I doing? He whispered to the night. Memories flooded. Coming out to his parents, the yelling, the door slamming shut. Freak! His dad had spat. Now, in this den of outlaws, he hid again. Coward. Jake found him there. You okay, Owen? His voice was low, concerned. Owen stubbed out the smoke. Yeah, just thinking. Jake leaned beside him, close enough that Owen smelled leather and aftershave. About what? The question hung heavy. Tell him? Risk everything? My family kicked me out. Jake's brow furrowed. Why? Owen's heart hammered. Partial truth. Differences. Jake nodded slowly. Angels are family now. We don't judge. Owen wanted to believe it, but doubt poisoned the words. If only you knew. The tension built like a gathering storm. A few days later, during a club run to a charity event, ironic, bikers doing good, Owen rode pillion on Jake's Harley. Wind rushed past, bodies pressed together out of necessity. Owen's arms around Jake's waist felt electric, forbidden. At a stoplight, Jake turned his head. You hold on tight, kid. Like you belong. Owen's breath caught. Belong? To what? To them? To him? Inner voices clashed. This is dangerous. But it feels right. When they arrived, the crowd parted for the angels, whispers following. Outlaws. Thugs. Owen felt the stares mirroring the judgment he'd fled. Society's disdain, now aimed at his new family. It stung deeper than expected. That evening, back at the clubhouse, a fight erupted. Two members argued over a girl, fists flying. Jake broke it up, authority radiating. Owen watched, admiring his strength, then hating himself for it. Later, alone in the garage, fixing a chain, Jake approached. "You been quiet lately." Owen set down the tool. "Just adjusting." Jake stepped closer. "Talk to me." The air thickened. Owen's resolve cracked. "What if I'm not who you think?" Jake's eyes searched his. "I think you're solid. That's enough." But it wasn't. Owen's mind screamed. "Tell him. Don't." The moment stretched, charged. Jake's hand on his arm sent sparks. Owen pulled away. "I can't." He fled to his bunk, heart racing. What if Jake followed? What if he didn't? The rejection from home replayed. Get out. Would history repeat? As weeks turned to a month, Owen's internal war intensified. The Angels planned a big rally, inviting chapters from across states. Excitement buzzed, but Owen felt isolated. He overheard jokes, crude, homophobic slurs tossed casually. Fairy this, queer that. Each one landed like a blow. They didn't know, but it hurt. Did Jake laugh too? Owen confronted his reflection in a grimy mirror. You're fooling yourself. This acceptance is conditional. But leaving meant losing Jake, the one person who made him feel seen. The pull was agonizing. One night, unable to sleep, Owen wandered the lot. Jake was there, polishing his bike under moonlight. Can't sleep. Owen shook his head. They talked about rides, life on the road. Jake shared his past. Abusive home, finding the Angels. They saved me. Owen's walls trembled. Similar scars. Could he open up? The question haunted him as dawn broke. The rally loomed like a judgment day, pulling in hundreds of bikers from coast to coast. Owen threw himself into preparations, tuning engines till his hands blistered. But the work couldn't silence the roar inside. Every glance from Jake ignited a firestorm, desire clashing with dread. You're pulling away, Jake said one afternoon, cornering him in the garage. Owen wiped sweat from his brow, avoiding those piercing eyes. Just busy. The truth clawed at his throat. I'm falling for you, and it terrifies me. But saying it could shatter everything, the fragile belonging he'd found. Nights grew restless. Owen lay awake, replaying scenarios. What if he confessed? Jake's face twisting in disgust. The Angels turning on him. Fag. They'd echo his father's voice. Or worse, pity. He couldn't bear it. Yet suppression bred resentment. Why hide? Hadn't he suffered enough? His parents' rejection replayed endlessly. The slammed door, the empty street. Now, in this brotherhood, the same fear chained him. Coward, he berated himself. But survival demanded caution. The day before the rally, tension snapped. A new prospect, a loudmouth named Rico, ribbed Owen during lunch. Kid's too pretty for this life. Bet he don't even like beer. Laughter rippled. Owen forced a grin, but inside, fury boiled. Pretty? Code for what? Jake shot Rico a glare. Lay off. Owen is family. The defense warmed Owen, but deepened the ache. Family, not lover. Later, alone with Jake, Owen exploded. Why defend me? You don't know me. Jake frowned. I know enough. You're loyal, smart. What more? Owen paced, heart pounding. What if there's more? Something you'd hate. Jake stepped forward. Try me. The challenge hung. Owen's mind fractured. Do it. End the torment. I'm gay. The words escaped, raw and irrevocable. Jake froze. Silence stretched, agonizing. Owen braced for the blow, verbal or physical. Instead, Jake exhaled slowly. Okay. Owen's world spun. That's it? No disgust? No kicking me out. Jake rubbed his neck. Kid, I've seen worse. Angels don't care about that shit. Long as you're straight with us. Relief flooded Owen, but suspicion lingered. Was it real, or tolerance masking revulsion? Jake's eyes held no judgment, only something softer. Why tell me now? Owen shrugged, vulnerable. Couldn't hide anymore. Inside, turmoil shifted. From fear to fragile hope. Words spread subtly. Whispers in the clubhouse, sidelong glances. Not hostility but curiosity. One older biker, grizzled and wise, pulled Owen aside. Heard about you. Live your truth, son. We got your back. Acceptance? Felt surreal. But doubt persisted. Society's shadows loomed, news stories of hate crimes, even among outlaws. Owen's mind raced. Is this genuine? Or waiting for the other shoe? At the rally, chaos reigned. Tents sprawled across a field outside the city, bikes thundering in. Owen worked the mechanic tent, focus sharpening his resolve. Jake stuck close, their dynamic charged. A shared look during a burnout contest sent shivers down Owen's spine. Intentional? That night, around a bonfire, stories flowed. Jake sat beside him, thigh brushing thigh. Proud of you for speaking up, he murmured. Owen's pulse thrummed. Scared the hell out of me. Jake's hand squeezed his knee briefly. Friendly? Or more? The touch lingered in Owen's thoughts, fueling fantasies he dared not voice. But paradise cracked. Rico, drunk and belligerent, cornered Owen later. So, you're the queer mechanic. Watch yourself around the bikes. Slur laced with threat. Owen stood tall. Problem? Rico is native. Just saying don't belong. Fists clenched. Owen walked away, but the words festered. Belonging? Questioned again. He found Jake spilling the encounter. Jake's face darkened. I'll handle it. Confrontation followed. Jake hauling Rico by the collar, words sharp. Owen is brother. Disrespect him, you're out. Rico backed down, but the incident scarred. Owen's inner voice mocked. See? Not everyone accepts. The price of truth. Isolation amid unity. As the rally peaked, Owen's emotions swirled. Jake's protectiveness stirred deeper feelings. A late-night walk led to confession. I like you, Jake. More than brothers. Jake paused, eyes intense. Kid, Owen, I feel it too. But this life, it's complicated. Complicated? Owen's heart sank. Rejection veiled as caution? They talked till dawn. Jake's past flings? Club rules unspoken. Angels come first. Owen nodded, pain twisting. Sacrifice again. For what? Love unrequited? The dawn brought no answers, only heavier burdens. Betrayal hit like a chain whip. Post-rally, the clubhouse buzzed with hangover stories. But Owen's world imploded when he overheard Rico on the phone. Yeah, the kid's gay. Jake's soft on him. Might ruin the chapter. Laughter from the other end. Owen's blood ran cold. Rico stirring trouble with other chapters. Trust shattered. Why? Jealousy? Hate? Owen confronted Jake, voice trembling. Rico's talking shit. About us. Jake's jaw tightened. Us. The word hung electric. Owen flushed. Whatever this is. Jake pulled him into the office, door slamming. What do you want from me, Owen? Vulnerability cracked Jake's tough facade. Owen's heart ached. Honesty. Do you feel it? Jake paced. Yeah, from the start. But Angel's reputation matters. Some old-timers won't get it. Owen's mind reeled. So it's real but forbidden? The irony burned. Escaped one cage for another. Then what? Hide again. Jake stopped, eyes locking. No. We fight for it. His hand cupped Owen's face, thumb brushing cheek. No kiss, just intensity. Owen leaned in, hope warring with fear. But the price? Division in the club? Words spread like wildfire. Whispers turned to debates. Some supported, love's love. Others grumbled, bad for image. Owen felt the rift, guilt gnawing. His presence fracturing the brotherhood he'd craved. Inner monologues tortured, you're the poison. Leave before it worsens. But Jake's resolve anchored him. We're in this, Jake said one night, alone in the garage. They talked dreams. Owen's lost college hopes, Jake's regrets. Closeness deepened, but tension mounted. A chapter meeting loomed. Rico pushing for a vote on standards. The night before, Owen broke. What if they vote me out? Jake held him, first real embrace. Then we go rogue. Owen's emotions surged. Love? Loyalty? At what cost? Memories assaulted. parents' abandonment. Now risking Jake's family for him? Unfair. I can't let you lose this. Jake's voice roughened. You're worth it. Words that healed and hurt. Owen lay awake, conflict raging. Sacrifice himself? Or let Jake pay? The meeting erupted.
Rico stud, venomous.
Kids turning us soft. Gay shit don't fly. Murmurs. Jake rose, fierce. Owen saved my ride, earned his place. And yeah, I care for him. Problem. Gasps. Outed them both. Owen's heart stopped. Brave? Reckless? Fists flew. Supporters versus traditionalists. Chaos. Owen intervened, voice steady. If I'm the issue, I'll go. Silence fell. The president, a veteran named Bull, spoke. Vote. Hands raised. Narrow win, stay. But scars remained. Rico stormed out, defecting. Betrayals sting. Healing was slow. Owen questioned everything. Was it worth it? Jake's answer. A quiet dinner ride to a lakeside spot. Yes. They shared vulnerabilities. Jake's hidden bisexuality. Buried for years. You woke me up. Owen's walls crumbled. But society intruded. News of anti-gay bills, protests. Friends warned. Bikers and gays? Targets. Paranoia grew. Owen's mind spiraled. Safe here? Or illusion? A crisis hit. Owen's parents tracked him down. Via a mutual contact. A letter arrived. We regret. Come home. Temptation tugged. Normalcy. Forgiveness. But at what price? Hide again? He showed Jake. What do I do? Jake's eyes flashed hurt. Your call. But don't go back to lies. Owen tore the letter. I'm done hiding. Decision made, but doubt lingered. Had he burned bridges forever? Emotions peaked during a charity run for homeless youth. Poetic. Owen spoke publicly, voice breaking. I was on the streets for being gay. Angels took me in. Applause, but vulnerability exposed. Inside. Worth the risk? Jake's proud gaze affirmed. Yet, as crowds cheered, Owen felt the weight. Choices, acceptance bought with pain. The run ended in triumph, but Owen's soul ached. Betrayals, fights, the cost of truth. One evening, alone on Jake's bike, wind whispering doubts. Am I happy? Partial yes. Love bloomed, but shadows loomed. Jake joined him. Regrets. Owen shook his head. Not you. But the club? Fractured. Price paid. The fracture deepened into a chasm. Months after the vote, resentment simmered. Old-timers muttered. Rides grew tense. Owen felt it. Eyes on him and Jake, judgments unspoken. We're the problem, he confessed one night, head on Jake's shoulder. Jake tightened his hold. No. They're the problem. But Owen's guilt festered. I brought this. His mind a battlefield. Stay and fight, or flee to spare them. Love demanded sacrifice, but whose? A blow came swift. Bull called a private meet. Kid, you're good people. But the chapter's splitting. Some want out because of you too. Owen's stomach dropped. Ultimatum? What now? Bull sighed. Step back. Or leave. Jake exploded. Bullshit. We earned our place. But Owen saw the truth. His presence eroded the foundation. Inner agony peaked. Destroy what saved me? Or lose Jake? I'll go, he whispered. Jake's face crumpled. No. We go together. Heartbreak in unity. Packing was torture. Owen folded clothes, memories assaulting. First fix, first ride, first confession. Tears blurred. Why does love cost so much? Jake pulled him close. Because it's real. They rode out at dawn, a small group of loyalists following, new chapter forming. Rogue angels. Freedom? Or exile? Owen's soul screamed. Betrayed again. By family, society, now this. The road stretched endless doubts. Settling in a small-town garage, they built anew. Jake's touches grew bolder. Hands intertwined. Quiet nights. But scars throbbed. Owen dreamed of parents, bikers' slurs. Am I cursed? Waking in sweats, Jake soothed. We're building better. Yet, external pressures mounted. Local whispers. Those bikers. Unnatural. A brick through the window one night. Note. Fags out. Hate crystallized. Owen's rage boiled. Why us? Jake reported it, but fear rooted deep. What if they come for us? Paranoia poisoned joy. Climax hit during a town fair. Their group set up a booth for bike safety irony. Protesters arrived, signs blazing. Protect our kids from perverts. Owen froze, flashbacks to home. Jake stood firm. We're here to help. Confrontation escalated, shouts, shoves. Owen stepped forward, voice cracking. I was homeless for being gay. You judge without knowing. A hush. Some nodded, others sneered. Jake's hand in his, solidarity. But inside, Owen shattered. Endless fight. Worth it? Aftermath brought awakening. Support trickled, locals sharing stories, joining rides. Change? Slow but real. Owen reflected. Pain forged strength. But at what toll? Jake proposed. Marry me. Make it official. Owen's heart soared, then sank. In this world. Yes. Ceremony small, vows raw. Through hell, brother. Tears flowed. Happiness amid ruins. Yet, doubts persisted. A call from old chapter. Rico arrested for hate crimes. Justice? Hollow. Owen pondered. Did we win? Or just survive? Emotions overwhelmed. Love's triumph. Society's chains. He wrote a letter to parents. Unsent. I'm happy. Are you? The story closed on a quiet ride. Wind carrying whispers. Owen leaned into Jake. Peace fragile. But questions lingered. Had choices been right? Sacrifices justified? Was accepting one's truth always worth the devastation it could bring?